Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and welcome back to Everyday Consent. This week we're doing something a little bit different. I'm actually at Sex Geek Summer Camp, or Mahalco's Sex Geek Summer Camp.
Hi, I'm Mike Shea. I'm a sex therapist in Monterey, California, and I work mostly with couples, some LGBT work, and I work with the trans community a lot.
What does consent mean to you?
Well, consent is being able to ask for what you want, as being able to state your needs, and that is asking a person for what you want to do with them, around them, to them, or from them.
So you said that you work with couples a lot. Are there any differences in how consent works with established couples versus newer couples that you've noticed?
Yeah, so with established couples, people that have been together any length of time, what happens is that consent changes and it becomes implied consent. Sometimes that, a very classic idea is that, the wife, the woman, or the partner is wearing sexy lingerie. They come out in the underwear, and they're implying sex as opposed to asking for it.
Sure.
And this is an interesting thing, and it's also important to realize that it kind of breaks down. These messages break it down over time, and then things start becoming expected. People think or expect sex at a certain time because it's Tuesday's sex day, and those patterns change in your life. And so with implied consent, you still have to check in.
Sure.
Just because it's lingerie day, or I lit this candle, or I touched you in a certain way, which means I was asking for sex, as commonly men that I've worked with is I rubbed my wife's shoulders today, she should know that I'm frisky. And that is not enough to actually be consent. That is not that's not even asking. And then these men frequently have gone on to get really grumpy and angry and annoyed at their partner for not receiving that message. I was asking for sex 2 weeks ago,
and she didn't even know.
And he didn't even notice, and now we haven't had sex, and I'm grumpy, and then they start snapping and not doing any chores, and it really breaks down over time. So checking back in, you could these signals can become consent, but you can also turn them into consent messages, implied consent messages.
Like what?
So if so let's go back, let's just stay on the thing of husband rubs shoulders of his wife, and if he sticks around, it's he's asking for sex, and that is the ability to partner to go, hey, no thank you. So then it becomes a conversation, so husband has stated that whenever I rub your shoulders after dinner, after the kids are asleep, I'm signaling sex without me having to ask the question. It's important that that message when I do this, honey, I'm asking for sex. And then the wife, the partner, can go, hey, no, thank you today. They can actually, they can communicate after that signal to actually make it a conversation piece as opposed to something. And then the honey, and you go, oh, sorry, husband. Sorry, partner. I'm not feeling it tonight, or I'm getting your signal. And then it could roll, and it could also feel spontaneous. But turning those things into a conversation, turning hey, I'm rubbing your shoulders. This isn't you saying this is what you're thinking.
Right.
Hey, I'm rubbing your shoulders, and this is the signal for you to go, okay, yeah, I'm feeling it. And then by you going, I'm feeling it, it would be just getting up and kissing and turning it into a spontaneous event. So it's like building a plan, if you will, around consent. Implied consent is something people start laying into as longer relationships going into. And when you start a relationship, you have to ask specifically for sex or specifically for what you want, and you have to be able to talk about what you want. But then people get into patterns. Yeah. And then people stop talking about things. You can always find sex therapists in your area. You can go to asect.com, which is AASECT, standing for the American Association of Sexuality Educators, Counselors, and Therapists. And that's where the licensing board for sex therapists in the United States is listed. And you can find a sex therapist near you who works on those issues. But you can also, a lot of therapists are really good at when it comes to relationship issues. But if you're having specific sexual issues concerning performance or shame or being able to communicate new things about new important things like opening up the relationship, having an open relationship, a sex therapist is usually a great choice. Or looking for a polyprofessional on polyprofessional sites, or finding a kink professional or kink positive professionals, even for MDs and for doctors and massage therapists. It's important to find those people to support your life if you can. The belief that most people have, and it's very appropriate, is that sex therapists can handle all LGBTQI issues. They very much have to have the training if they're licensed to handle those. But you can find a lot of therapists out there. I do suggest that anyone who is LGBTQ, QQI, anything in the spectrum of difference in sexuality expression or sexual identity, you should find someone that you're not teaching. Even if they're great at listening to you, you shouldn't be spending your money teaching your therapist how to handle your issues.
Yeah, because that's not what you're there for.
No, you're paying for their education, or they're paying to educate. You're paying to educate them on how to help you.
Thank you so much for interviewing with me today.
Thank you very much.
And if any of you have any questions for Mike specifically, he gave you a lot of great resources if you want to find a therapist of your own. But if you have any questions for anything he talked about, you can put a comment in the description or email me, and I will let him know and see if he wants to answer it. So, all right, cool. Thank you.